Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, and welcome to today's Shortcuts Classroom training. My name is Chris, and I'm the Shortcuts educator for the South East. Now, you can ask me questions today through the question and answer button on your screen, which is at the bottom of your screen, and these will be answered at the end of the session. Now, please, if I could just make everyone aware, please make sure your speaker is turned up just so you can hear me nice and clearly. And if you are listening to me through a headset with a microphone enabled, please ensure that that is turned down or switched off just so you don't accidentally interrupt or anything like that. Perfect. Okay, so as you can see, the session will be recorded and posted onto YouTube under Shortcuts Software Classroom. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at our new starter training. So just before we move forward, if you're doing this afterwards, please ensure your new employee already has been created, assigned a level, which is senior stylist, director, that kind of thing, and has also been allocated the correct security role. If you don't know what it is, please do let me know at the end of the session, and I can, of course, let you know. And, of course, make sure they have a PIN to log on before they use Shortcuts. So today's lesson, we will show you how to use Shortcuts on sort of a basic day-to-day basis, and will, of course, get you booking in those clients in no time. So making it nice and easy for everyone moving forward. So what will we be covering today? We'll have a look at the overview of our appointment book and creating appointments with the day-to-day running of the system. We'll also look at client data, client cards, and how this can be managed. We will also look at our shortcut POS, which is our POS system. We'll also look at adding new services, products to a sale line. Think of this as like a client's bill, basically. And lastly, we'll also look at the employee performance and how they can track this on a day-to-day basis. Now, depending on your staff members' security setup, which we spoke about a few seconds ago, they will only be able to see their own performance. Okay, so see how well they're doing. Okay, now, of course, if you have listened into my webinars before, you will know you can contact me via my email address at the end of the session, or of course, you can email us at education@shortcuts.co.uk, or you can give one of our friendly help desk team members a call on 0161 972 4900. Perfect. So the first thing we're just going to do is we're going to simply open up Shortcuts. Now, if you've got everything enabled correctly, you will be presented with a login. So all you will need to do is simply input your PIN. Perfect. Okay, and you can now see we are live into Shortcuts here. So I'm just going to give you a brief breakdown of how this works. So on the top left-hand side, we have a calendar, and it automatically will show us today's date. So Thursday, the 30th of May. If we click onto that, you will see at the top, we can choose a specific month or a specific year. Underneath, we have the days which fall under that calendar month. You will also see today's date is always highlighted in red, again, making it nice and easy to ensure we do an accurate booking. Now, you will see each month is represented by a color. So one calendar month is light grey, another calendar month is dark grey. And we can see as we scroll down, it goes dark grey, light grey, dark grey. Again, giving us a really easy indication that we are looking at a full calendar month. Okay, on the top right-hand corner, you will also see we have today's time, 3:05, and again, today's date. Bottom right-hand corner of your screen on your computer or your laptop, you will also see today's time and today's date. And last but not least, in the middle of the screen, just here where my cursor is, you will also see, again, today's date. Okay, looking at the appointment book along the top, we have each of our staff members. So you can see we've got Sarah, we've got Matt, and we've got James. These are our staff members. Okay, on the left-hand side, you will see our appointment book is broken up by 15-minute intervals. Now, we can, of course, change this. This is dependent on your configuration and your setup. But this one is configured in 15-minute intervals. So we can see 3, 3:15, 3:30. Now, you may have already noticed, looking at the screen, we have like this dark blue, dark grey section just here. And just underneath that, we have a slightly lighter blue section, almost sort of broken up by this invisible line. Oh, it's locked us out. Perfect. So what you will see there is the dark grey and the light grey. This is sort of represented by this sort of invisible line just here. Now, what this shows us is this is the past and this is the future. Okay. Now, as soon as we want to make an appointment, All we need to do is just simply click onto the screen. And as you will see, as I move my cursor up and down on the left-hand side, you will see the time illuminates in yellow. And this does it no matter which part of the screen we were on. So if I'm in James's column, you will see on the left-hand side, it highlights yellow. Again, making it super easy to ensure we book in an appointment accurately. Okay, so down the bottom, as I said, we have today's date. If we click on the arrow on the right-hand side where it says date, we can quickly navigate forward one day. And we can click onto this as many times as we like. And at any point, we can skip back to today by clicking the Today button. We can also go backwards a day in exactly the same motion. Now, you will also see on each end of the book here, we have a week forward button and a week backwards button. So you will see if I click onto this, it will take us forward exactly 1 week. Now, what we can do, which is fantastic for our really regular clients, such as the blow dry clients, the cut clients, those kind of things, what we can do is on the week forward button, we can right click and we can jump forward 2, 4, or 6 weeks. And again, we can navigate back to today. Perfect. So we can already see just how easy and accurate we can start to make appointments in our calendar book. Okay, so what we're now going to do is we are going to look at creating an appointment with Sarah. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to locate Sarah's column on the left-hand side, and we're going to choose a time. So I'm going to say it's going to be at 4:15. So I'm going to click and hold with my mouse until 4:15 highlights. Now, of course, you can just click straight onto 4:15. That's not a problem. And you will see it will open up all of our clients on the left-hand side. Now, for the time being, I'm going to create a brand new client. So a client that has never been to the salon before. Now, for those of you that have already got stuck in with shortcuts, you will see anything where we want to create something new is the green cross button with the word new underneath. Again, making it nice and easy to navigate our way around. So to create a new appointment, I'm simply going to click the new button on the right-hand side. And we have some information. So I'm going to pop in the first name and I'm going to pop in the last name. And you will see these are marked with an asterisk to say they are mandatory. We must fill this information out. And same goes for the phone number. And when we're finished, we simply click the done button. You will see it will automatically highlight the client we wish to use. So this is Joey Blogs, not to be confused with his younger brother, Joe Blogs. So we're going to use Joey Blogs just here. And to confirm this, we're going to click the done button. We can then tag the appointment. Now, this is really important for your stylist, but also for your manager, your director, or the owner of the business for when they run their reports. So we can tag the appointment. So we have a new client. We have a new request client. Now, that is somebody that has never been to the salon before, but they specifically request that stylist. A no-show is if they constantly no-show. Request is if they always have that particular stylist. And salon client is if they come to the salon, but they don't mind who they see each time. So as we said, this was a new client. Click done to confirm this. And you will see straight away it will open up our service categories on the left-hand side. Now, just to give you a heads up, ladies and gents, if you've already booked an existing client in and they've already had a service or a set of services before, on the left-hand side, it will already have their previous services. Again, making it really quick and easy for us to identify the previous services they've had. It also eradicates any mistakes. So we sometimes know what it's like. They ring up and they say, oh, just book me in for my roots. We go onto their history in the services, and they've always had a balayage or they've always had a full head of highlights. So we can say this. We can see previously you've always had highlights. Okay, so I'm going to book in a ladies blow dry. And we can see there straight away the appointment has been booked in. Now on the left hand side you will see that tag NC, again standing for new client. So we can see straight away this is a new client. Now just looking at this appointment, you will see on the left hand side of the screen where my cursor is, we have like a light green section. And on the right hand side of the appointment, we have like a dark green section. And this is kind of split up by this sort of backwards smiley face, this backwards C just here. Okay, so let's say this client, Joey Blogs, has walked through the door and he has loads of hair. So we need to extend this appointment and make it a little bit longer. So all we need to do in the bottom right hand corner of the appointment is simply click and drag and make the appointment longer. Okay, we can do this as many times as necessary. Now, let's also say, just for the sake of argument, Sarah is all of a sudden taken ill, or she's running behind with a client, and we need to move this client, Joey, over to Matt or James or whoever it may be. Now, we could, of course, delete it, but that's going to take up just too much time. So what we need to do, on the left-hand side of the appointment this time, we're going to click and drag and drop it over in James's column, just like that. And we can do this as many times as necessary. And all we're doing is with the left side of our mouse, we are simply click and dragging and then dropping this appointment. Okay, so let's say Joey has changed his mind and he now actually wants to completely reschedule it. So he can't make today, he wants to reschedule it for a completely different day. Now again, of course, we could delete it and rebook it, but we of course have a slightly quicker way of doing this. So all we need to do is right click. Now for the users that are using touchscreen, all we need to do is hold our finger down on the screen until a square appears. That will represent a right click command. Okay, so we're going to right click this appointment and we're going to go down to where it says select. And you will see in the bottom left hand side of my screen, this little folder is now highlighted yellow. So we've essentially copied this appointment into this folder. So we are going to reschedule this appointment till tomorrow. So we move to tomorrow using our navigation bar down the bottom. We open up the folder that is now highlighted, and you will see the grey dotted squares next to the name. And this is the appointment we have copied. So we click onto that, and with our mouse, the left side of our mouse, we just click and drag and drop onto the appointment book. And you will see move the selected appointment to 10 a.m. on the 31st of May with Sarah. And we just simply click yes to confirm this. I'm going to reschedule it back today just for the purposes of this training session. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to go down to select. You will see it's in the folder. We navigate back to the day we wish to reschedule it to. Open up the folder. Click the grey dotted squares and click and drag. And to confirm the move, we just click the done button. Okay, so there we go. I hope everyone's okay with that so far. It's definitely something, have a play around with it when you get a chance. So now what we can do, we've rescheduled the appointment back today. We're now going to pop a note on the appointment just to maybe say that they have a voucher or that they're running late. This will only be a temporary note, so it won't stay for every appointment and it won't be on the client's profile. So again, all we need to do is simply right click the appointment and we're going to go down to notes this time. And we're going to type in a note. So I'm going to say they are running late. And you will see straight away we have a little yellow post-it note on the right hand side. So to reiterate, on the left hand side we have the tag which will set as a new client request client. The left-hand side of the appointment, we can click and drag to move the appointment to someone else's column. The dark green section on the bottom right-hand side, we can click and make the appointment longer or shorter. We now have the yellow post-it note to say they're running late, just to let us know that there is a note on this appointment. Now, for those of users that have touch tip enabled, which I'm sure most of you will, all we need to do is click onto this appointment, and you will see down the bottom we have all of the information for this particular client. So we can see that note there is running late. Now again, for those users that are using touchscreen, all you simply need to do is touch it with your finger, hence the name Touch Tip Technology. Okay, perfect. So we've now popped a temporary note on this client's appointment. Well, we can also add a note onto our staff member's name. So if we go to James at the top and we right click, you will see there's a little button where it says message. And you can see there's now a pen and paper on the screen there. Okay, so we've added a temporary note onto this appointment. We've now added a note onto our employee, James. What we can now look to do is add a more permanent alert on. And this could be that the client has lots of hair, or they have a particular need or a want or anything like that, and we can capture that on Shortcuts as well. So this time we're going to double click the appointment. And down the bottom, we're going to go down to the card. This is their client's profile card. So you will see this is where we withhold all of their personal information. On the left-hand side, we can pop a relevant message. We also have a refreshment box on the right-hand side. Now, of course, this is where we could say a coffee white with 2 sugars, that kind of thing. Again, to make a real personalized service. On the top here, this is where we can opt our clients in for certain marketing. Please ensure we adhere to all GDPR regulations before making any changes here. And down the bottom, you will see where it says alert, represented by this big siren. Okay, so we're going to say has lots of hair. Now this is a permanent note, so this will always stay on a client's profile. So you will now see in the top right hand corner, we have this orange and white exclamation mark, letting us know that there is an alert on the system. Okay, so again, if we click onto that, you will see the client message has lots of hair. Okay, now just bear in mind with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get back to that in just a second, but there is something else I just want to show you really quickly as well. So we've added a temporary note onto the client, we've added a permanent alert onto the client, and we've also added a little message onto our staff member. Now, if we go back to just where we were, so this particular staff member here, James, again, if we right click James and we go to view week, we can see all of James's particular week. So we can see the Thursday, we can see the Friday, we can see the Saturday. Now you may have in your salon certain staff members that do the color, and you may have certain staff members that do the cut. So we know what it's like. Sometimes our clients say to us, do you have tomorrow between 9 and 1, Friday, Saturday between 2 and 3, and you think, oh, you're constantly flicking backwards and forwards. So again, if we use the view week mode, we can see a week. Now we can add another client in, another employee in, sorry. We click onto Matt as well, click the done button, you will see we are now looking at James and Matt side by side. So again, this could be that James does the color and Matt does the cut. We can skip forward 2 weeks, we can skip forward 3 weeks, but please bear in mind that this will make the appointment book look a little bit more zoomed in. And some people may find it slightly harder to view it all. And when we're happy to just close it down, we just simply click the done button. Okay, now just going back to our alert that we had up earlier saying that this client has lots of hair, you may be thinking to yourself, well, this appointment's already been booked in. So how do we know that this client has an alert on their name before we actually make the appointment? So you will see here, Joey Blogs has an alert to say that they have lots of hair. So we need to know this information ideally before we finish making the appointment. So you will see when we start to make the appointment, if I type in Joey Blogs, you will see that there is the alert just here. And once we click onto it, you will see it says has lots of hair. Now, while we are here, ladies and gents, it will show any outstanding client series that they've purchased, any future appointments, and any past appointments. Again, giving us a little indication of what they usually have, or of course, if they have any appointments booked in the future. Okay, so just bear that in mind. It's written in red there if they do have an alert. So you may think to yourself, oh, I just need a little bit extra time. Okay, again, giving us a great indication that they may have an alert. Okay, perfect. So you will see as the day moves forward, this dark blue section gets bigger as we move further down the appointment book. Now, you may have already noticed as we are looking at the appointment book that we are only looking at a small portion of our day. At the moment, we are looking at 1:30 to 5:45. Now, you may be thinking to yourself already, well, we're open a lot longer than that. And of course, we are too. But what we're doing is we've changed our view mode to sort of zoom into our appointment. So in the bottom right-hand side of the corner, you will see where it says menu. If I click where it says view mode on quarter of a day and just simply change it to all day, you will see it zooms out. Now, of course, if you have lots of clients and lots of staff members, you may wish to simply have a look at the view mode, maybe half a day or quarter of a day, and you can change it again as many times as you see necessary throughout the course of the day. Okay, so we can now see our dark blue section has sort of come in line with where Joey Blogs is due in. So we can now arrive Joey Blogs when he walks through the door to let all of our employees know that this client is physically in the building. So to do this, all we simply need to do is right click the appointment and just simply hit the arrived button. Now I'm using something called service started, but typically with your setup, you will just make the appointment go blue. Okay, and we can see that here. So the appointment has gone blue. Now again, if you ever forget moving through shortcuts, whatever the colors mean, just simply click onto the menu button where we just were, and you will see it says color legend just here. So all we need to do is click onto that, and it will show us what all of the colors mean. Perfect, so we have now arrived Joey Blogs. He's had a lovely service, so it's all important now that we simply take a payment off him and offer any retail. So to take the payment, we need to check the client out. Now, if a client has been arrived, you can check a client out by entering into the point of sale screen on the right-hand side and finding them from the drop-down menu at the top. So any client that has been arrived will appear here. But of course, we do have a slightly quicker way than doing that. We can right-click the appointment and just hit the checkout button. Perfect. And again, on the top left-hand corner, ladies and gents, you will see we have that siren. Now, if we remember, that is, of course, our alert. So we can see this client has lots of hair. Now, the reason it appears here is it could be that they have a discount or anything that we need to be made aware of at taking the bill. Okay, so we can see here in front of us, James was the employee that performed the service. The service was a blow dry, and the price is £21. Now, at this point, you may think to yourself, as they had loads of hair, or of course, whichever your T's and C's may be in a salon, we're going to charge just a little bit more. And we can simply change the amount like that. Now, please ensure, when we were talking at the beginning, we've talked about security setups for our employees. Certain employees may not have the security level to enable them to adjust prices. So if you find your staff members should have access to change prices, but they don't, please do let us know, and we can, of course, change that if you are not sure. Okay, so you can see straight away how much we can change the price. Now, we do also have a discount button on the right-hand side. Now, all of the discounts are reported. So if we click onto the discount button, you will see on the left-hand side we have some discount reasons. Now, you may or may not have more or less discount reasons. Again, these are set up through your configuration, usually upon install, and of course moving through the day, the years, the weeks, the months, that kind of thing. So you can set up as many as required. So I'm going to say there was a complimentary 10%. And you will see it automatically works it out for you. So no need for calculators at this point. Okay, so we can now see there is £22.50 outstanding. Now, of course, if we change our mind and we don't want that discount to be applied, we simply click onto it and we click the clear button on the right-hand side. And it takes it away. Okay, now we have decided that Joey Blogs is going to purchase a product. Now, of course, you may be using barcode scanners where we can simply scan the barcode and the product will appear. But let's say maybe the barcode scanner isn't working, or even that the barcode isn't working. We can manually search for a product on our system. So you will see under any services or products that are currently in the point of sale screen, there are some grey boxes. These are what we call sale lines. This is where we basically add something onto our bill. So we click onto it, choose whichever employee is relevant to, and you can see here we can add a service or we can add a product. Now, for this instance, we're going to add a product. On the left-hand side, you will have all of your companies, so L'Oreal, Paul Mitchell. On the right-hand side, you will have the line of products, so Nutritive. And on the far right-hand side, you will have the specific product. Once you've clicked it, you will see down here, this product has been selected, and it will show you how many products you have selected. Click Done to confirm this. And you will see it has added it to the bill for us. And you can see there is now an outstanding amount of £67.69. Now, let's say that this client, Joey Blogs, doesn't wish to purchase this finishing spray. So all we need to do is click the quantity and change it to 0, because they're not going to be purchasing this product. So there's no quantity. And you can see it removes it straight away. And again, adjusting our bill. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to take this bill. So we can see it is £60.74. Now, if a client wishes to split the payment, by that I mean pay half on card, half on cash, that's absolutely fine. So I'm going to say they're going to pay £30 on card. On the left-hand side of the screen, these are all of our payment options, and I'm going to circle now for you. If they do wish to pay by card, please do not click on this button here where it says card. This is simply the client's profile card. So we can adjust any personal information if necessary. So our client is going to pay by £30 by credit or debit card. So we click the Visa button and we type in 30. And you will see it tells us there's £30.74 left to pay. So we click the Done button to confirm that. So they're going to pay the rest on cash. Now, there's a very small chance they're going to hand you £30.74. They may hand you 40, they may hand you 35, they may hand you 31. Whatever amount they give you, we type this in so the change can be worked out for us. It will then ask us to rebook the client. If we wish to rebook the client, all we need to do is hit the rebooking button. It will then take us to our appointment book. We can rebook the appointment. Once we have finished making that appointment, we just simply click rebooking done, return to point of sale. All we need to do is just follow the prompts. For the purpose of training, I'm not going to rebook, I'm just going to click done. And all importantly, click end sale so your cash drawer will open and you can hand the client their change. Perfect. Now I may get a small error just pop up, just say it couldn't find any till or any receipt, because of course I'm using a test system and I'm actually connected. But of course yours will print a receipt and open the till. So there we can see, ladies and gents, how easy it is to change the bill, so we can add some products in or anything like that. Okay, so now I'm going to create an existing client appointment. And for this, on the left-hand side, you will see all of our appointments. If not, we can simply search for our client. We can search by first name, we can search by last name, and these options can be configured on the right-hand side. And this time, I'm going to choose a half head of highlights, and I'm going to choose a cut. And we can see that there. So you will see if you have configured everything correctly, just make sure that when you book a color service and a finishing service, such as a cut and or a blow dry, you will see the development time is already created for you. You will also see this red line around the appointment, which shows that it is linked to another appointment. So you know that this has two services. Okay, so again, I'm going to arrive this appointment by right-clicking, and now I'm going to check this appointment out, again by right-clicking and clicking the checkout button. Okay, this time I'm going to change this half head of highlights to a full head of highlights. Now we don't need to delete anything, all we simply need to do is click on the half head of highlights button, click the service button, and change it to a full head of highlights. And you will see it has adjusted the bill accordingly. And we can check out exactly the same as before. So we have our payment options on the left-hand side. Okay, so what I'm now going to do, for those of you that are using the account option, which is where people can prepay for things, I'm going to show you how this works. Now, in order to put money onto someone's account, in order for them to prepay for something, you must ensure it is set out against a specific client. So again, anything to do with selling, buying, purchasing, anything like that is always done through our point of sale system. Think of it as like our till. So again, we click onto point of sale. And in the left-hand corner, we will search for our client. So this time I'm going to pop some money onto Gary's account because he is prepaid for something. So I find Gary in the list by simply searching for his name. Click the done button, and you will see he appears in the point of sale screen. To add money onto someone's account, all we need to do, same as before, is click onto the grey sale line. And we always sell it to Z Business because the money is going to the business. And you will see here where it says account. Specify how much money is going onto his account. And just simply check the appointment out as usual. Okay, so we have now put £5 onto Gary SC's profile. So how do we know if a client has money on their account if they don't tell us? So again, if we go back to our client screen or when we're booking a client in, if we search for Gary, you will see as soon as we click onto his name, there is a green book. And again, on the right-hand side, you will notice it says £5 owed to the client. This is because he has put £5 on his account. Okay, so how do we redeem the money off the account? So how does he essentially spend this money he's got on his account? So let's make an appointment for Gary. and he's going to book in for a gents cut and finish. Now you will see here that I've tried to book it in with a staff member that doesn't do the appointment. So for this, I can choose who should be doing this appointment, as Matt isn't available. You will see as we check this client out, on the top right-hand corner, they have £5 on their account. So the service is £30 and they have £5 on their account. And you will again notice we have this little briefcase button appear down the left-hand side. This is so we can redeem the money off of their account. We type in how much money they have on their account, i.e. £5, and we click the done button. And you will now see there is an outstanding balance to pay of £25. And we can simply check this out just like normal. Okay, again, making it nice and easy for us. Okay, for those of you that are using gift cards or gift certificates, now we sort of identify them as slightly different. Gift cards are the plastic ones you purchase directly from Shortcuts with your logo on and like a barcode in the background. And gift certificates are essentially if you have sort of created your own. So I'll now show you how to sell a gift card or a gift certificate, whichever is relevant to yourselves. So what we always do, we always sell a gift card to a walk-in client. So again, remembering at our point of sale screen, from the drop-down menu, you will see where it says walk-in. We click onto the grey sale line. You can, of course, sell this to a client if you wish to, but it may be that the client's parent has bought it or boyfriend, girlfriend, something like that. So it doesn't have to be under a specific client. And again, same as before, we click on the grey sale line. We always sell it to Z Business because the money is going to the business first of all. And you will see gift card, again, if you purchase them directly through Shortcuts, or if you're using your own where you've created your own, we click onto Sundry. And you will see here we have a gift certificate. And like with our account, we simply determine how much money we wish to put on this gift certificate. And then we simply check it out like normal. And all importantly, we click the end sale button. And you will see it will come up with a gift certificate number. Now, you would have to sort of keep track of this yourself, maybe in a spreadsheet or some sort of document. Of course, if you are using the Shortcuts gift cards, they will have a barcode on the back, so you could scan this to make it easy to track, but it's entirely up to you. So I'm going to say this is the gift certificate, and we're going to label it as 199. And then you can hand the client their receipt so they've got their gift card or their gift certificate. Okay. So how do we redeem a gift card or a gift certificate? So let's say Chris, who I booked in earlier, has a gift card or a gift certificate and he wishes to pay for his service with that. Now, you will see here we have our cash button. You will see we have our credit or debit button. You will see on the right-hand side we have our account button, which we used a few minutes ago. And our gift card or gift certificate payment is under this button here, what we call the custom payment button. You will see just here where it says gift certificate as the payment type. And you will see any gift certificates here. So you will see we've got the 199. So we just simply choose that one and click the done button. It will redeem that straight away and then show us there is £140 left to pay. And all we do is we just check it out exactly the same as before. Perfect, so there we go. We have popped money on our client's account, we have redeemed that, and we have also sold a gift card and also redeemed the gift card where necessary. Okay, so there is just a couple more things I can show you, ladies and gents, just before we leave this afternoon's webinar. Hope you found it informative already and can't wait to get stuck in and start using it. One thing we're going to look at now is petty cash. Now, petty cash, again, you may not have your staff members set up with the relevant access to use petty cash. So if you find that they get a little access denied, please do let us know. We can show you how to change the security level so they can access petty cash. Now, again, like I said before, anything to do with money, purchasing, selling, anything like that is, of course, done through our point of sale screen. So if we go back to our point of sale screen on the right-hand side, and this time we are going to click the no sale button. Because no sale is taking place, we just simply want to take money out of the till. You will see here there is a button where it says take petty cash. And then all we do is we type in how much money we wish to take out. Now, you may not know how much money you wish to spend, so if you're just taking £5 out or £10 out, just specify how much money we're taking out of the system. Okay, the system now knows that your till is essentially £10 down. So off we go to the shop and we spend this money. Now, we may spend it all, we may spend part of it. Whatever the outcome may be, we need to let the system know exactly how much money we spent and what we spent that money on. Because as we said, there is £10 currently outstanding. So to do this, we now need to return our petty cash. So again, we would go back into the point of sale screen and we click straight back onto the no sale button. And you will see underneath we have a new button where it says return petty cash. Now, please make sure, ladies and gents, if you ever take money out from take petty cash, you always return it. Otherwise, this will throw your cashing up completely out at the end of the day, because of course the system will think there is money outstanding. So we click onto the return petty cash. It will show who took the money and how much money was taken. And at this point, we can specify what we spent this money on. So I'm going to say I spent £1.50 on office supplies. So I click the office supplies and I click the add button. And I then specify how much money I spent. Now, of course, if there was other things you spent the money on, you can add that in as well. Now, again, to reiterate, we always specify the money we spent, not how much money we have left, because the system will work out the change for us. Click done when we finished, and at this point it will say there is a return cash amount of £8.50. So this is how much change we should have. Now, to confirm this and let the system know, we need to click the end sale button as before. And it will say you must return £8.50 to the till and deposit any expense receipts. Now, once you've done this, it cannot be deleted, so please ensure you are returning the correct amount of change. If we do need to modify, we can click this button here. Click the done button when we are happy and we want to confirm this. The system now knows we have returned £8.50 of our £10 spent, and we spent £1.50 in total. And the reason for this expense has been recorded for our accountant or our reporting purposes. Okay, now one of the last things we can look at, ladies and gents, is of course cashing up. Now, I do recommend we do this at the end of the day, and please ensure all clients have been checked out and are fully paid and everything is complete. And of course, any petty cash has of course been returned. So to do our cashing up, again, is through the point of sale screen. Please ensure that when we click the drop down arrow at the top, there is no outstanding clients, because this will mean that the client has paid, but we haven't told the system that they physically paid and left the building. So we will be up on the cash or card. At the top right hand corner, you will see what looks like a calculator. We simply click onto that. This will show any transactions throughout the day. Now, if we do need to edit any transactions, we can click onto it. And we can choose the payment type down here and modify if necessary. When we're happy to start our cashing up, all we need to do is click the end of day button just here. And all we need to do is type in our float. But please ensure your float does stay the same. It will make things a little bit easier just moving forward. There's a very good chance you will probably only be using the one till. As this is a test system, we are using more than one. So you can see which till needs to be balanced. There's this one just here. At this point, your till will open. Now, there's two ways we can do this. We can simply type in how much cash we have. Now, please bear in mind at this point, we do not need to include the float. So as you can see at the top, step 2, please enter your takings minus the float of £50. So whatever cash you have left in your till, please count everything, but do not include the float of £50 or whichever your float may be. Do not include that. Leave it in until it is already accounted for. And all we need to do is just simply type this amount in the right-hand side. Now, of course, if we're not that comfortable adding the money ourselves, we can use the system to aid us in this counting. So on the left-hand side, we can look at all of our money and say we have 3 £10 notes. We have 8 £1 coins, we have 6 50p's, and we have 15 20p's. Now, of course, you will see this adds it up for us, again, making it nice and easy. And on the right-hand side, you will see the total amount of cash. At this point, you will perform a end-of-day reading on your credit and debit card machine, and we will type in the total figure here. So we have now said we have taken £44 in cash, again ignoring the £50 float, we do not need to enter that here, and we have said we've taken £2,500 in credit and debit cards. Click next to move on, and it will say please be certain that your terminal selection and floats are correct. And you will see here we are £44 over in cash and £2,500 over in credit and debit. Now this is of course because we didn't actually run any proper transactions through. Now if everyone clicks the correct payment button such as cash or card, this will balance at the end of the day and make sure you've counted everything correctly. If for whatever reason it doesn't balance, you will have to leave yourself a comment down the bottom. Now this could be dropped £1 down, or we gave too much cash, or we simply do not know. But we do have to leave ourselves a comment. So I'm going to say this is just for test purposes. And all we need to do is simply click the next button. This is to confirm your end of day summary, to say what our new float will be and how much cash we will be taking to the bank. Are you sure you want to finish this wizard? We call it a wizard for the end of day, just so everyone is aware there. Perfect. And then we have some reports available to us. Now, please do not worry if we do not print the report out at this specific moment in time. We can, of course, go back and print it out later date. These reports are always available to us. So the first report is session till balance. This will show us basically the basic details of our end of day session, how long it took to do, whether it balanced or whether it didn't balance. Now, the reason it sort of lets us know how long it took to do is because we may have a staff member that said, it took me ever such a long time, or it took me all evening. And of course, we can see on our session till balance, it didn't. It only took 30 seconds. Our trading summary will show us what we took in the day, so a basic breakdown of the day's transactions. It will show us our clients' names, the services, any products that were sold, and the amount of the services and the products as well there. Okay, now trading summary is something that our accountants do like to look at quite a lot. And of course, our business log, please do not print this out unless you really have to, because it will be a very long report. Sorry, just logged out there. The business log will basically show us every time someone touched the system, moved something on the system, clicked, that kind of thing. So all we would need to do is tick these two boxes to print them on the right hand side. But again, like I said, please do not worry, we can get any of these reports back at a later date. So on the right hand side, all we need to do is just hit the finish button to confirm this. And that is it, ladies and gents, we have now successfully cashed up. Now, there are a couple of other things I will just show you really quickly. It's something we usually get asked quite a lot, is how do we book in a lunch break? Now, we can, of course, schedule breaks, but sometimes we know what it's like hairdressers. We like to work through and get as much done as possible and just pop a break in where necessary. So putting in a task or a break is very simple, and it's very much like booking a normal appointment. So let's say Matt wishes to have a break here at 3:30. We click onto it as if we're making an appointment. And in the top left-hand corner, we just simply click on to schedule a task. Click the done button to confirm this, and you will see we have here where it says lunch. And again, we have the same options available to us. We can make the appointment longer and shorter. We can move the appointment round. And of course, we can add notes to it as well. Okay, so there we go, ladies and gents. That is the basics of our fantastic piece of software. And we've gone through cashing up, we've gone through checking clients out, we've added things onto the bill. The very last thing I'm just going to show you is the performance, just so you can track your own performance once you have checked clients out and started making appointments and selling some products. So on the right hand side, you will see under the main section of our navigation bar, we have the performance button. If we click onto that, we can choose ourselves, and you will see just here. So we can see our employee services breakdown, how many clients they did, whether they were ladies, whether they were men. These are the reports categories. So we can see whether it was a color, whether it was a treatment, whether it was a beauty, and so forth. We can also see how many the business did in one day. We can also break it down from today, week, and the month. And moving down the all important bit, we can see how much money we've generated in services, how much money we've generated in retail, sundry being our one-off payments such as our gift cards, gift certificates, and so forth. And of course, we have our total. We have an average client spend. This is taken from the total amount accrued divided by how many services there were. And again, we can also see the average spend per hour. And we can change this lastly to view including tax or excluding tax, depending on how you like to view your performance. So there we go, ladies and gents. That is the basics of the new starter training. So definitely get comfortable with it, get making appointments, start booking clients in, moving the clients around. Do play around with it. You can't break it, so don't worry. Please do get confident with it. I hope you've enjoyed today's session. We will also have one tomorrow morning as well, which I believe we'll be looking at the Salon app and our custom CIC form. So if you are an Elevate user, please do jump on that and we can show you how easy it is to navigate that. But there we go, ladies and gents. Thank you ever so much for joining me this afternoon. If anyone does have any questions, you're more than welcome to put them across to me now. If not, in the next couple of days, you will get my email address. Just to let you know, on that note, after tomorrow, I will be having some annual leave, so I've got 2 weeks off. So if you do drop us an email, you will, of course, get my out of office, but you're more than welcome to call our help desk, or of course you can email us, like I said at the beginning, at education@shortcuts.co.uk. Just didn't want you to think I was just ignoring anyone there. So there we go. Thank you ever so much, ladies and gents. If there are any questions, please do put them forward now. If not, thank you for joining us and enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, perfect. So I think that's it for all the questions. If you do think of anything later on, please do drop me an email. If you would love to jump on my webinar tomorrow, please do. Would love to join you. Love you to join us and have you along. If not, thank you ever so much. All the best, and look forward to speaking to you again soon. Bye bye.